Right, so we're going to stick the new set of shoes on. We've cleaned up the back plate, we've cleaned up the stub axle, we've also cleaned up the expander. That was that manky bit of metal, so it's cleaned up really nice and well. We've oiled that, that's good to go. One thing you need to make sure of is you've got free brake cables, that they're free moving. Because 80% of the time you'll find a lot of problem with brakes is due to sticky cables. The cables will stick, the shoes will expand onto the drums, and then obviously you'll knacker the brake shoes and that sort of stuff. So make sure the cables are free. We stripped that one down, we've oiled it, put it back together, and it's fine. But for the sake of sort of 12 quid, if it's causing an issue, won't free up, just replace it. You know, it's not worth mucking around. So that one's good to go. That's the expander. So make sure this is nice and free as well, and oiled. The way to remember it, always looks like a bit of an arrowhead to me, don't know about you. So always make sure the arrowhead is facing forwards, alright, towards the front of the trailer, not the rear. So that hooks in like that. You see, it sits like that. Alright, so these are the new brake shoes. That's the rear one, that's the front one. Front one's got the cam system on it for the auto reverse. You also see they've both got notches taken out. Small one at the bottom, big one at the top. Big one at the top fits onto the adjuster up there, small one fits into the expander. Alright, the way to do this, the easiest way I found to do this after 20 odd years of doing it, is to preload the rear brake shoe with the springs ready to go. So these are the springs, the new ones. So that's the retaining spring there that holds the rear shoe on. And you'll see these two springs, one is slightly longer than the other. Alright, so what you'll find when you put them on, so if you get it the wrong way around, it's really particularly difficult to get on or get the shoes back on. So you'll know if you've done it wrong. But I'll show you now. The top one is the longer spring, bottom one's a shorter spring. Alright, so take your brake shoe, this is the rear one, fit the brake spring on, fit them this way around, not that way, because it'll try and pull the shoe off the back plate. You want to pull it towards the back plate so it doesn't interfere with the drum. So spring on like that. Same with the rear one, which is the shorter one, goes on like that. Alright, so shoe goes onto the back plate, locates, and then you put the retaining spring to hold it against the back plate. There's a small notch taken out of the back plate, little hole and a dimple in the back plate. That's where you put the retaining spring. It goes through there and clicks on, holds that on in place. So put the shoe on. Always make sure this top spring is on the top of the stub axle, because if you let it drop underneath, you won't be able to marry it up with the front shoe, and you'll be cursing. You have to take it off again and put it back on. All right. So retaining spring on. That's it, held in place. You'll see where we do that now. So take the front shoe, little notch there, little hole, sorry, for the bottom spring. You can see that's just on like that. Again, nice and easy, nothing difficult about this. Put it on there. You see that movement there? That's why we put the shoe on and with a retaining spring. Otherwise, you're trying to hold them all together and hold the shoes, and you're trying to put retaining springs on, and it gets particularly difficult. So that there will hold that in place while you pull this across and marry it up with a back hole taken out of that cam there, out the the shoe slipper. So line those up. Again, you can see that's on there. We just haven't located it in place against the adjuster. So get hold of that. And there's your shoes in place, ready to go. You can see the easy way to do it. What it does is the cable at the back there pulls this expander. You can see it pushing the shoe out there. So as long as that's nice and free, everything's going to work well. And that's it. Shoes off, cleaned up, shoes back on. Just going to stick the drum on, make sure the bearings are greased and all that sort of stuff. Which we've done. We strip them down, grease and put them back together again, and that'll be good to go. That's it. Easy as that.